Demons shall bathe in their blood. The light belongs to the righteous.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? MobaJ's here, back with a new video for y'all today. We are going to be going over each and every one of the revamped heroes, so I figured why not start off with one of the assassins, and I chose Alucard. So, without further ado, let's just jump into it. The main thing that has been changed about him is his ultimate. So, his ultimate is changed, and his passive I think is changed a little bit to where he is a brawler. He's a dueler. He's good at 1v1 more than he is in AoE situations like before. So the Mobile Legends development team decided to make his dueling 100% better. So he's good for 1v1 skirmishes, but also his ultimate affects everyone around him as well, all the enemies. So that's another good thing that they added. So let's go over his ability, then we'll jump into some gameplay. So his basic attack will be enhanced after using his skills, and then we have his first ability. It's same thing. He jumps in a designated location, dealing damage to enemies within the area of effect and slowing them down. And then we have this AoE, which is good, and his ultimate, his mark. So now you mark more than one target. So as long as there's enemies near you, you will mark them all. So Alucard marks enemies within a designated area and does extra damage to the marked enemies. He can also use the skill again and increase a powerful shockwave for dealing damage to everyone in front. So basically all his ultimate got enhanced, and he is now a pretty powerful 1v1 duelist with a lot of lifesteal. So he has a lot of regen, and he's just overall a lot better than before. And they made his 1v1 a lot stronger in the early game, and then later on when you need to do team fights, your ultimate will affect everyone. So win-win for him. I'm glad he got the buff that he needed and the rework that he needed. And I have a pre-recorded gameplay for y'all to watch, and it's sort of like neck and neck gameplay. And let's see if we pulled anything good off it, because I honestly don't remember if it was a very close game or not. I think it was. Let's go. This Franco game, that's not it. I believe it was this one right here. So yeah, this is some revamped gameplay, pre-recorded of Alucard. I like to do my my gameplays. I like to pre-record them because it's hard to talk while I'm playing, and there's so many things that's going all on at once. So it's really hard to kind of focus on what I'm trying to say and pay attention to the gameplay as well. So okay, here we go. At the start, Natalia decided that she wanted to be the jungler, and I said okay, whatever. And we're going to start off going to the bottom lane. So she's saying that she wants me to retreat, which is fine. Thought we were going to go bottom, but I think we're just going to go mid now. I'm not sure why our tank is there. He should be supporting Mia. Mia's up against two assassins.
Try not to drag me down.
and especially you don't want Ling to get ahead. So we decided to swap to bottom lane and see if we can shut him down. Take in mind as you're playing that if you have a choice to go up to whatever lane you're in, if you are a good jungler, it's best to impact the lanes that you think will succeed the best. Like if you see a really strong carry in one lane of the enemy team and you think they have the potential to impact the game greatly, it's best to gank that lane constantly. So this will also be some tips on how to jungle as an assassin as well, even though we're not really jungling. Just a couple tips here and there. So maybe I'll save that for another day, but we are going to continue on. So we got a double there, pretty much, and we sort of baited them into the tower, which was good for us.
Try not to drag me down.
And here we are just regenning. Gotta get the HP regen up, and continuing on. And I believe I'm just talking to my team real quick, saying, getting the lane sorted out. So our carry Mia has whatever it is that she needs right now. Like I think she's just dying a lot and she just needs to farm. So I'm just suggesting maybe she come mid and I'll help her out, or she goes with Tigreal. And here I am baiting them into a fight because I know that my ultimate's almost up and we could tank the damage. Just a little bit of decision making on my end. So I knew that I could bait them into a fight, and I knew that I could live because of Alucard's ultimate and the CC that we had. If we did not have that much CC, I probably would not have done that. I probably would have baited them into the fight and then disengaged right away and used my shockwave from a distance. That damage is crazy. He can just duel anyone. Almost probably. I have to test it out, but I think like early game when you hit your ultimate, you probably have a lot of potential to duel even Dyrith or Khalid. Don't quote me on that, but I think he has great dueling potential. They're trying to make it so he's a really good dueler at the really early into the game. So hopefully these buffs are good enough. But right now, Dyrith is still pretty strong dueler, and so is the homie Khalid. Is actually one of the strongest fighters right now. He has so much regen and everything. I feel like all characters that have regen in their kit are really strong. Like the dragon's really strong. He's always picked her band. Same with Ruby. Her win rate is really high because she has a regen. The skill regen is just in a hero's kit is just absurd.
Try not to drag me down.
Camera went off a bit. We just basically baited them back into a fight. They chased me. Also, if you're playing, and you're in a situation where you're chasing, don't chase people across the map. That's how you die. It's not a good idea. So we're like, hey, we're strong. Let's go ahead and do the turtle. Also, I feel like when you're jungling and playing as a jungler or playing as a laner and there's buffs involved, I feel like the buffs should just not go to one player. I feel like it should go to the player that's impacting the game the most. Like if you're just picking up the buffs, you just go run around and farm. It's good that you're getting CDR and mana management with the blue buff to push your lane, but maybe give it to someone else that. Well, every game's different. I can't say that blue buff is bad for pushing, but some situations you're gonna want to push, and having that CDR helps you push out. But like red buff and things like that. It's not good to give it to just the player that just runs in and dies constantly. You know what I mean? So give it to the player that impacts the game the most. Red buff is red buff, regardless. Just because you're an assassin doesn't mean you need blue buff. Give it to the players who can really impact the game with it, that can potentially use it to win the game. Like if I'm an assassin and I have a Farsa that's really far ahead and she's really fed and she has like 6 kills, and I'm just like I only have a couple and some assists, I would give her the blue buff because she's strong and she has potential to carry. So now we are just clearing out the lane, no big deal. Because Sylvanas is split pushing against us. So we are behind at the moment, but like just because you have kills doesn't mean you're ahead. It depends on turtle, it depends on farm, it depends on how many towers that you've killed. So we have a lot of our towers dead, and the enemy still has theirs up in some lanes. So here we are backing out because we know that Sylvanas is trying to push. So we don't want to lose our turret early game because that'd be devastating. It's hard to kill empowered minions early in the game. Beautiful, nice dodge. And then we are going in because we know that she doesn't have cooldown, so we were able, because she just used her ability, so we know that they're on cooldown and she doesn't have a blue buff or anything, so as far as I know. And we had Natalia, so we decided to jump in because we knew that we could burst her down before her cooldowns came up again. And she had low mana too. You gotta take everything into account when you make decisions like that. Okay, I'm just pushing up the lane. And how I push up the lanes is I just push up a few waves. I believe it's standard. If you push 3 waves worth, it has potential to. Well, it's gonna crash into the tower and die, but we get a triple here, I believe. But it's still strong enough to counter the next few waves that come into play. Yeah, it crashed into the tower, and then that minion wave that just is fighting the top lane now, our minion waves are just going to completely eat that wave. And let's go ahead and see what's going on. So here it is. We pushed a few waves, so we knew that the wave will basically get pushed back down, but we have enough minions coming to hold it off. So I think that's when, if you push a few waves and you have a couple of waves that are stacked up, we should be able to push, but you know, the enemy's lane or wave is pushing really hard, so we knew we had to go back up and clear that because those are the cannon minions. So now the wave is potentially vetoed out, so we know that it'll just crash and we'll be fine. If there wasn't a team fight potentially about to happen, I would push another couple waves, so they would have to clear the wave again for it to push back down. This is wave management, things like that. You know, that's the thing in these type of games, minion wave management. Because you don't want to keep having to go to the same lane and push back the minion wave. You know, you want to move around the map and, you know, and impact other lanes and do other things. So now we're taking the blue buff because we're strong enough to potentially carry, and you know, we are having a lot of team fight impact, and we are team fighting a lot and we have a lot of participation. But I did overextend here. I thought my team would flank them and come in. I did have Tigreal with me, but it was just a bad situation. I should have backed off. And here I'm just like, yeah, I made a mistake. Sorry guys, can you defend the base? Because Sylvanas, I believe, was pushing as well, topside. So Sylvana is doing a good job pressuring top lane by continuously pushing. That's what you want to do when you're behind. If you're behind and you need gold and you know you died a few times, just keep pushing a lane because she's still causing issues for us, even though she's not like farmed or not like has a lot of kills and everything. So their Mia is 10-1. Here we read the situation and we are going for the big plays right now. Boom. So we decided to go for Mia or go for the Lord there because I looked on the map and I noticed that they're heavy damage dealers. I couldn't see them on the map. So I'm thinking, okay, they're either in their jungle or because I knew our buffs weren't up, so they're not in our jungle. So they're either in their own jungle or they are in the Lord pit, fighting Lord. So we went there, and 90% of the time you're either going to find someone that's there fighting the Lord, or you're gonna find someone that's on the way there checking Lord as well, or in that area. So it's always good to look at Lord. If you see none of their carries on the map visual, then it's good to check the Lord because they could be like lurking in the area. So that's a huge game-changing fight that we did right there. We have so much regen, so we're just going in. And I believe that's the game right here. We're just gonna regen more, and you know, just decision making when you're playing impacts everything. So just make sure you make the right decisions, the right calls. That regen is so crazy. I just like healed up instantly. Now we're just pushing and trying to wait for the wave so we don't care about the kill. We don't want to kill them. That doesn't matter. We want the win because Mia is strong and she could potentially come back to, you know, finish us off later on. So we had a situation where we could have ended, and we didn't mess around. We didn't go for those kills. We didn't get greedy. We didn't do anything else. I just went straight in for the for the win. Because at the end, it doesn't matter how many times you kill them. All that matters is the victory at the end. So kill the throne. Don't farm kills. Alright, that's all from me, guys. And I hope you guys enjoy this revamped gameplay of Alucard. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.